Be prepared for highly offensive language from the start and throughout, and adult and sexual themes.
What about that for a show? Angie left, Christina left, and now any one of 7 could be leaving on Friday. I need to bloody lie down. I can't deal with it. It's too much. We're going to be bringing you all the latest from inside the UK's most famous house. And Matt Richardson's going to be whipping out his funny bone. He's going to be chatting about the week that was, and if all of that wasn't enough to get you going, you should see who's on our panel. First up, she had to endure Gary Busey getting his bits out in the kitchen. So I'm making a promise now not to flash her tonight. Give it up for the gorgeous Dee Kelly! The show!
Growing old Grace.
Go on, girl. My next guest is a presenter, a singer, and she's no stranger to a diving board. And she'll even sort out your problems if you're lucky. It's the beautiful Anna Williamson! And finally, she walks out of that house using the quickest quick step the dancing world has ever seen. She was the 3rd housemate to be shown the door, and she was definitely happy to go. I think it's safe to say that. It is the stunning Christina Rianoff.
Yeah!
Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, it's time for a little ditty. After tonight's nominations, it's something we have to do. Another housemate will leave Big Brother, that much is true. So now it's that sad time where we have to turn them blue. Do you like that? There we go. We've got the budget for the writers now, haven't we? The housemates facing eviction this week are Daniela,
Woo!
Gemma,
Woo!
Jeremy,
Woo!
John,
Woo!
Megan,
Woo!
Stephanie,
Woo!
and Tiffany.
Woo!
So there we have it. We have got 7 people up for the chop. Let's start with Tiffany. She received a whopping 7 noms herself. Dee, she took it really well, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she took it a lot better than a lot of us thought she probably
That's that
did.
time.
Yeah, but she took Christopher's nomination of her really well, I thought. But
it's because Christopher almost absolutely pooed himself.
Please don't hurt me, Queenie. Please don't do it.
Petrified.
The funny thing is, though, she hasn't actually fallen out with anyone properly yet, I don't think that we've seen. Do you think she's got a right to be upset, Anna? Because it's not as if she's going for people, is it?
No, but I think that anyone that gets nominated, you're going to take it personally, aren't you? You've got, you know, I'm the only one on the panel that hasn't, you know, been in the house to
Oh,
do
we'll
this.
sort that out.
No, I'm quite happy
They all end up in there in
opinionating.
the end.
Quite happy opinionating. But, you know, I think she's got a right to be upset because, you know, but it is the game, it is the show. She's a reality queen. She knows how it works, but she takes it so badly.
Last night during the eviction, the crowd absolutely loved her. They were cheering
Because
for
she had
her.
a really good show the night before, and it was really nice to see a little bit of Tiffany's heart. We're going to talk about it a little bit later on, actually, a little private one-to-one.
Oh, we'll have a little tete-a-tete,
But we
babe,
saw a
you
little
know
bit
what?
of fun Tiffany last night, and she was doing well. But you know what? I think she's absolutely screwed it up now by absolutely going for it and throwing all her toys out the pram. It's too much.
Christina, you've lived with her. Like I said, the crowd
Yeah.
reaction last night was brilliant for her.
Yeah.
What's she like on the inside to live with? Why did she get the 7 noms?
Well, the thing is with Tiffany, I think she's a bit like Jekyll and Hyde. You never know what side of her you're going to get. It's like a ticking bomb all the time. Something can set her off and here she goes, full on. And this is scary, to be honest, to be around those, like, it's a fire, full on, and there is no stopping her. I think actually Tiffany has a very lovely side to her. When I got into the house, she was the first one I spoke, you know, about life, about why she's here and so on. She was really lovely, and then the whole thing with Ange kind of blew up out of the proportion. So you just don't know. I think she makes everyone on edge because you don't know, you know, what unpredictable.
She is quite unpredictable. I do see
Yes,
that.
I think that's what kind of goes not in her favour because you just do not know what's going to happen.
And after a while, that's gonna get on your tits, isn't it?
On your
basically.
tits. On your tits, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, listen, let's move on to John. He was nominated 4 times this week. Dee, are you happy that he's up?
do you know, I absolutely love John, watching him on Bot's panel and everything.
Yeah,
and
I mean, yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, he's won that the second he walked through that door.
I think a lot of us
Now,
thought he was in
I
for
can't
brilliant
stand
style.
him. I think he's the slyest, sneakiest, most two-faced. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked.
You're shocked.
Yeah, really am.
So you think the not him being
I'm
up
surprised
is
he
the
didn't
right
get
thing?
more, to be fair.
He does seem to have changed a lot, like just to actually watch
is
his
this the
behaviour.
real John, you know,
well,
it's
exactly.
like-
Oh.
She's got to stick out as James. Darren's reasons were because of the face-to-face nomination about him smoking
Go,
too
Darren.
much. Go on, Darren Day. And don't we think they've moved on from this? Do you think Darren was within his rights to nominate him again for it?
Yes, because I think it's really affected Darren. You know, Darren, let's be honest, you know, he's been through a lot, and you know, in his past sort of outside the house, and yeah, that really hurt him, and we could see that has really affected him. And I think we all have quite a decline in Darren over the last week. I think he felt quite betrayed from a person, a friend in the house, and I think someone that has.
John's sitting there going, Judas.
Judas. But I think that, I do think that John's concern was genuine, but it was misplaced. It's maybe something you tell a mate you've had for 20 years, not someone that you've only just met. And I think that Darren had to come up with a reason. You correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that it is still bugging him, but I think John needs to accept that and really accept it.
We're going to move back to John in a minute, but I really want to talk about Gemma, because next up we are talking about Gemma Collins / the GC. I don't know who we're going to get night to night. She was nominated 3 times. The most surprising of nominations, I think, was from Christopher.
Yeah.
You're friends with him, Dee, on the
Yeah,
outside.
I am,
You do see him quite a lot. Is he a loyal person?
Do you
Or
know-
do you think he's just took too much?
No, Christopher is honestly one of the nicest, most loyalist, humblest people you could ever meet.
Yeah, very true.
But I can honestly, hand on heart, say, Christopher, that one shocked me.
Oh, Maloney!
You know, it's like, but then again, I don't know if he did it because it was probably the easiest option for him to take. I don't know. It's like...
Well, unsurprisingly, though, John also nominated Gemma, saying that he can't trust her. Christina, you've obviously got your views on Gemma. Do you think she is trustworthy? Do you think Gemma's trustworthy and the GC isn't? Or do you think it's the other way around? Because she really has got this split personality.
I do not know who Gemma is, honestly. I think she has a game plan and, you know, she always different. When I got to know her a little bit, she was quite nice, you know, and I thought a lot of her because of how she is a business person, came a long way from her personal problems and so on. And then all of a sudden, I was very disappointed, like I said, that what was happening, because it's like cancer was spreading out, you know, in the house. She goes to everyone and she tries to divide everyone, and by that, she will be very strong, I suppose.
Just mixes it all up.
You know, and I think going to Christopher, he's the sweetest guy ever. You know, he was shaking and crying, you know, when he was doing nominations. But I totally understand why he nominated Gemma, because she kind of made him do all the dirty work. Make me a cup of tea, cook for me, make my bed up, do this, do that, bring me a towel. Sorry, love, do it yourself.
He
You know?
gave-
Do it
he gave
yourself,
it.
girl.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I want to try and get through as many as I can. So let's just quickly talk about Stephanie. She received 3 nominations. Scotty was one to do it. I mean, I think it's clear to say he's definitely not two-faced. He's done it to her face. Dee, were you shocked by that?
No, Scotty has not made an impression on me at all until he nominated her tonight. I thought, you know something, good on you. That's when he went right up there in my estimation of
Well,
him.
let's quickly move on to Megan. She only received 1 nomination, and that was from John. Anna, then a meltdown the other evening. Has she been quite a stable housemate, to be fair? It was just, in my own personal view, which we're not allowed to have, I do think, other than that, I don't think she's done anything that
No,
terrible.
I mean, when I watched that meltdown,
Mega melt.
oh my gosh, as a psych, I was glued to that screen. I had about 4 pages of notes on, oh my gosh, what's going on with her? But she just blew up. But I think because, as you said, I think she's quite consistent, actually. I think she's quite mature for her age, actually. Sometimes, some might say she doesn't show it, but I think overall she's quite emotionally mature for her age. She's got a pretty level game. She just says it how it is. She's quite sort of just slightly under the radar now. She had that massive blow up, but what's really interesting is that everyone seems to have forgotten about that and let her pass, and I think that's very interesting.
Whereas maybe Tiffany, they haven't let her move on
I think
bit.
because Tiffany, like you say, correct me if I'm wrong, Tiffany is less predictable
Yes,
than Megan.
absolutely.
I think that was an extreme reaction
Yeah.
from Megan, where she was something just happened and we've all done it.
Well, we're
we've
going to be
just
talking
gone,
about
we've blown.
Tiffany, especially me and you, a bit later on.
We are.
But I want to talk about Daniela. There's just so many up. She only received 1 nomination. She was another one of your pals, Christina,
Yeah,
in that
definitely.
house. Are you surprised that she's actually up again?
I think, well, I was, but I think, you know, with this whole thing with Stephanie it's like with Darren and John, they're not going to let go, you know, of that sort of fight and so on. I mean, I love Daniela. I truly, like, so happy I got to know her in the house. She's, like, a very motherly person.
I've got to be fair, and I do want to say this. I think a lot of people, I've said it before, were worried about Daniela going in.
Massively.
Could have gone one or two ways, and I think she has done herself well so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant, good.
Finally, let's talk about Jeremy. He's up for eviction this week. Dee, what were you making of Jezza?
Let's talk about Jezza. Do you know, I could do some serious damage. I'm telling you now, I don't know if it's the accent, the tats, the eyes, the hair, the teeth.
The 10-incher.
I think I too will be single by the time I get home. But he's just absolutely. I'm just sitting here just looking at his picture.
On another note, do you think he deserves to be up for eviction?
Not at all. I mean, you know, up for eviction. No.
I think this is the only time Dee's safe to say, no, I don't want to see Jezza up. Give him a check, coming up, I've got all the latest headlines in today's Botch Bulletin, and we get the all-exclusive backstage gossip from last night's eviction with Christina. But right now, I want to know who is facing the chop this Friday. It's time to get voting, and it's really easy. If you look at the list and just do this, what you can do is you can decide if you want to save them or not. It's as simple as a yes or a no. Who goes? You decide! You decide! This week, Daniela, Gemma, Jeremy, John, Megan, Stephanie and Tiffany all face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 6 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Daniela, add 03. For Gemma, add 06. For Jeremy, add 07. For John, add 08. For Megan, add 11. For Stephanie, add 14. For Tiffany, add 15. Calls to the long number will cost 50 pence, plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50 pence. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on catch-up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. You can find terms on the Big Brother website. Coming up, our very own Anna Williamson. Who's Alan? Gets into the celeb minds of all our Shea BB housemates. But first, last night we sadly bid farewell to the third person that was evicted from the house. She's our little Siberian princess, and we like to call her Christina. And what a cold night it was. Here is her aftermath.
The celebrity housemate and third to be evicted is Christina.
Yeah!
Happy. Finally, I'm out. I can go home. I can eat whatever I want. I have my own shower in my own bed. I'm actually excited. I've never met Rylan before.
Christina Reno!
Christina! Christina!
Christina! I don't want to see those faces anymore.
Did she have a game plan? Because I felt right from the beginning she did.
Christina was 100% the right person to go. She was quite boring.
I don't think we saw the real Christina at all. She's meant to be the sort of Russian firebrand from Strictly Come Dancing, and she was definitely sticking to not wanting to be involved in the bitching, but that's not what you want.
It's a vote to save, not a vote to evict. So if it were the other way around, I think the result would have been a lot different.
So I've got myself a new celebrity to dance with, and it's Rylan. Thank you everyone who was watching me and supporting me. I love you all, but it's time for me to go home.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely, done.
You go!
Oh, I mean, we're a power couple now. Baby's been out of the house now for 24 hours.
Yep.
How are you feeling?
Amazing. Amazing. I slept a lot and very rested, very happy, you know, ate a lot as well, so yes.
Was it weird waking up this morning with about 10 other people? Like,
Yes.
morning, darling.
But good weird. You
In
know,
a good
weird.
And what's the reaction been like since
I
you
was
left?
actually worried that I'm going to hear any minute the new batteries are in the hatch with one housemate.
This is
Change
Big
the
Brother,
batteries.
Christina. Get up. How's the reaction been? I know that you've got back
Yes.
control of your Twitter now and stuff like that. Are you
Been
pleased?
really good actually, and I'm really happy about it because I don't know what we've been shown, you know, from the house. And, you know, I'm just pleased that people are very supportive and very kind on Twitter and so on. You know, it's been great.
And I know
Been
Ben
great.
weren't here last night. You caught up with him? Everything all good?
Yes, he's
All
good.
right.
He's
Oh,
good.
we love it. We love a love story. Well, everyone wants to know what is next for the Rhiannough.
Oh, gosh, I don't know. It's only been 24 hours.
Having
Come
a
on.
baby!
Of course, but that's, you know, a few months to go. But I think a lot of rest, definitely, and catch up with everyone, my family and friends, and hopefully, you know, have a little bit of a holiday, I think.
Well, I think you
Yeah,
deserve
I
it, babe.
deserve
Guys,
it.
give it up
I
for Christina
deserve
one
it.
more time. We're going to be hearing more from her a little bit later on. But now, though, we are in week 3, and I think it's fair to say friendships have been forged, fractured, faked, and flipped reverse. Actually, you, Anna, come here, babe.
I'm there.
Because
I'm all
here
over
to
this.
explain with the inside track on all of their little mans is the gorgeous Anna Williamson. It's time for... Oh, babes. I mean, we have got so much to talk about.
Well, I hope you've got half an hour
We
set
really
aside.
have. We've got about 6 minutes,
Yeah,
so we'll try and
yeah.
cram it all in. Well,
That's
we know there's been 17 series of Celebrity Big
Yes.
Brother. Is this not the most unpredictable series you've ever seen?
Do you know what, Rye? It's so good to be here. A couple of weeks in now, because this is when it really is just absolutely kicking off as we like it. Every year we go, can we top it? Yes, we've only gone and done it again. You know, this year it is so unpredictable. People are walking, people are threatening to walk, people are ill and are leaving. Everyone's starting to play God a bit.
It's
with
like
their
an
own-
halfway
Yeah,
house.
it is. They're all starting to be quite manipulative over how long they stay in that house themselves. So it's very, very interesting how this one is playing out. They're all dropping like flies.
They're dropping like flies. Well, talking about dropping like flies, we've lost David,
Yes,
Angie, and
yes.
Christina already this week, and it's only Wednesday.
Oh, I know.
I mean, what impact is that going to have on the dynamic in there now? Because they're 3 quite big characters in there.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a big change in that dynamic, and we've lost 3 very big players. With Christina leaving, you know, John has lost a very needed friend in a very tough week. David leaving is going to be... If he'd stayed in, he would have won this for sure. I would have absolutely put money on that. Nice guy. You like him, guys? Yeah. Nice guy.
Come across really well.
Really, really well.
Even Emma said she couldn't believe how much he's changed over the years.
And that really comes across. There isn't a bad bone in the guy, you know, and I'm sorry that he's gone. Angie, I think it's probably the one thing the housemates will unite on. Thank goodness Angie's gone. She cried wolf too many times. Every day she was literally picking and choosing. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to leave. I mean, the best comment was about be cheap and get an Uber. I mean, that was absolutely hilarious.
Other firms are available, or just get a London black cab. Just put it out there.
Or just walk. But she was a nightmare, and she would have absolutely done my head in. So I think it's good for everyone, including herself, that she's now gone.
I know that there's been a lot of changes in housemates over the past... We're literally like 13, 14 days in, whatever it is, and I know there's been a lot of changes. So let's go right back to the beginning. Let's go back to John. When he went in, he was Mr. Selfless, Mr., you know, alpha male. We've called him for a long time, and now we're seeing him getting really upset in the diary room. That's not what we expect from John Partridge. What are you making of it?
John has peaked too soon. You know, as we all know, John is a big, you know, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
I've been on the panel with John before. I think as Dee said as well, he's a cracking panellist on Bots. He gets it. I think he went into that house, I mean, it's in a nice way, thinking he knew it all. You know, I think he felt that he was in the powerful position amongst the housemates. He got it. He's seen it behind the scenes. He gets the mechanics of it. But I think it's a great example of no one, including yourself, excluding yourself, Ryan, should I say? All careful, I'm going to be out. Taxi.
Get out!
Get that Uber or other cab for me. But no one is bigger than the show.
No one is bigger than Big Brother.
And I think it just goes to show...
You've got to remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously yourself. Totally
trust me, they'll get rid of me if they want to. Don't worry about that.
Sign him up for 10 years, come on. But yeah, I think that was, you know, case in point, really.
And Gemma's been the one that's getting to him. And speaking of her, what are you making of her? Because everyone has got an opinion on Gemma Collins. Every single person has got an opinion on her. The GC, Gemma Collins herself. it's so hard to differentiate who she is. She's in a great mood at one point, and then in the next, she's like, I don't do games. It's like, what's going on?
She's so well. She is unpredictable, and she's not. But Gemma's a great housemate, right? I mean, when I heard she was going in, I was thinking, right, yes, this is the show for you. She absolutely lives and breathes reality. She knows what she's doing. She knows. I think she thinks what is expected of her. You know, we've heard her tonight, 3 times going, "Give me a moment, Big Brother. I'll be up, and I'll give you plenty to, plenty of telly."
Go. Does she realise that we can hear her?
I know. It's almost like, just be careful, I'll stick it all on, and I'm ready to
don't worry, darling. Give me 5. Give me 5, and I'll judge myself up. And her name might just be like Julia. We'll never know. We will never know.
Well, we will never know. But I think, essentially, there is a young lady that does have a lot of insecurities. I watch her. She has a huge armour, going on with herself because, she's had to fight a lot to get where she is. She's had to take an enormous amount of stick where she probably shouldn't, have had over the years.
When it comes down to her businesses and stuff like that, much respect to her.
She knows what she's doing.
To her for doing what she's doing.
And this is just my opinion and from what I've read, but I'm led to believe she has a pretty rocky romantic past, and I think we saw an absolute genuine part of Gemma, not GC, Gemma, last night when Tiffany did her old Oprah act, which I quite liked. Saw a little bit of heart from Tiffany. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. She'll be after it. I'm telling you. She'll be there. She'll be there. But that sort of involuntary tear that Gemma sort of shed, that was true sadness from someone that was really hurting inside.
We'll get to see the real her, won't we? Eventually.
We will, and do you know what? The thing with Gemma is she's very emotionally mature. She actually knows exactly what she's doing. She's authentic. She values truth and authenticity, and that is actually holding her in very good stead as a viewer watching it. I think it riles up housemates who don't value those particular values and beliefs. Look at me getting all psych. That's my job. But yeah, I think that is that. But you see, everyone gravitate back to Gemma, apology. And do you know what? She never, ever holds a grudge. No. She will always take an apology. And I think we mustn't forget that about Gemma. She doesn't actually scream obscenities in people's faces like others do to her.
Well, let's move on to Daniela. Like I just said earlier, a lot of people were worried about her going in there. I do think that she has dealt with this situation really, really well. One thing she has come out and said is that she's finding it really, really hard that people aren't respecting people's personal spaces. There's not really any boundaries in there, which, in typical Big Brother fashion, there never is.
That's the point, right?
How do you think that's going to affect her?
I think Daniela is doing brilliantly. I think she's gone into this house, she's gone into this house with absolutely nothing to lose. And I was worried. I was thinking, but actually, in the first couple of days, when she had the first sort of little bit of an emotional sort of breakdown, I was thinking, oh, gosh, help. But you know what? This just goes to show how strong she is. Other people who are perceived as strong, such as John, have broken. Daniela has stayed consistent, slightly below the radar, and she's doing well.
Talking about broken, she went in enemies with her old best mate, Maloney. Yeah. That's been swept under the carpet. What sort of traits does that tell us about Daniela?
I think it shows she's been there, she's done it. She's actually got quite a big heart, and I think she's been through enough and bigger problems in her life than to let this one, affect her even more. She's letting bygones be bygones, and I think I don't think she judges. I think because of what she's been through herself, I don't think she probably dares judge because we all have moments where we make mistakes, and I think she's been incredibly generous and big-hearted in just kind of going, OK, even if it's just for the house, even if it's just for now.
See what happens on the outside.
Yeah, but what she hasn't done is scream, shout and air her dirty laundry within the house, which I thought might happen. So I think she's actually playing a great game, and I'm predicting top 3.
Well, let's talk about the young ones. Stephanie, Jeremy, Megan and Scotty T. How do you think they're getting on? Because when they went in, they were very young and foolish and, just enjoying the moment. Do you think they've changed or...?
Nah.
No.
One-dimensional, get me in there, I'm going to have the time of my life and come on out. My only problem with the 4 youngsters, she says, post-30, they do wear their heart on their sleeve. They play it out as it comes along, as we see. We're getting some nice little storylines out of all 4 of them, and they are a bit of a pack, the 4 of them. The only thing I worry about them, particularly Stephanie, I worry about their perspective, and I think that's an age thing. Stephanie in particular is very emotionally immature. Megan's slightly more mature, as I've already explained. I worry about Stephanie. She hasn't done what I think everyone should do, is keep that foot outside the door in your real life.
Keep that perspective
She
reality.
needs, because she's going to have one heck of a time when she comes out of this house, regardless of what anyone else thinks of her. Quite frankly, it shouldn't matter what anyone else thinks of her, but I think it will, because she's a very insecure young lady, and what she wants is she wants Jeremy.
Yeah.
But she's also very guilty, not quite sure what to do with her relationship outside the house
And
as well.
very quickly, I'm so sorry to cut you off.
No,
I know
please,
we're running out of time.
no.
What about Tiffany?
Oh, love her.
I've got 30 seconds.
Love her.
Go on, Tiff.
I think the culture divide is really kind of kicking in there now, the whole UK-USA thing. Tiffany, for me, is an absolutely archetypal, brilliant housemate. She says it how it is. She blows up. She's actually got a very, very good heart. There's a lot about Tiffany which is good. She's a good heart. She has been bruised. If I was to sit in a therapy session with her, I bet there's an awful lot that's happened to Tiffany that has hurt her and bruised her. She's a very, very sensitive person. But the minute someone even looks at her in the wrong way, she is up and in their face. She is up.
She's like pterodactyl.
But my final point on that is, I think, unfortunately for Tiffany, I think she's now made her bed and she's going to have to lie in it on Friday. She overreacted with those nominations, and I think she's gone Friday.
Oh, well, only time will tell.
I don't want her. I think she should stay in.
We're going to have to wait until Friday, and it's up to you guys at home. But on that note, give it up to gorgeous Emma
Oh,
Williamson.
thank you.
Lovely having you back, Dave. It's time for a quick break now. We've got some super exclusive house action coming up. Plus, back by popular demand, our resident stand-up, Matt Richardson's back. He's going to be casting his funny eyes across this week's antics. It's guaranteed to be a proper lower-thon. I will see you after this break. In just a minute, Matt Richardson's going to be dissecting and destroying the very best of Who Said What on Twitter to bring you this week's celeb buzz. But now, I think it's time for tomorrow's headlines. In today's news...
Extra, extra! Read all about it!
Well, after an eventful night in the house at 9:39, Big Brother decided to give the housemates a nice, easy start to the morning. And Jeremy, in particular, was rather excited.
Hand position 3, let's push. Oh, shit, now, mate. Are you sweating like pigs yet?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you working like a dog?
Yeah.
Excellent. Are you living like a fox?
Yes.
Hey!
We're straight, losers complain. Yes.
So they've got a personal gym pass now. Hang on. What? Oh, my God, yeah. I think there was someone missing there. Let's take a look.
This is Big Brother. All housemates must attend the high-speed techno spinning class immediately. Gemma must also attend immediately.
Listen, I ain't doing it. I ain't awake. You can see on the cameras I've struggled sleeping. Fuck that.
Oh, she's so ungrateful. And speaking of effing, at 11:32, Scotty T and Megan looked ahead to the future.
I would not want a little Scotty T running around.
No.
Be like a little crazy kid.
Best human.
No, it would have my temper in your craziness.
Should be an ultimate fuck.
Yeah. A big fuck up.
At least if he's a boy, he'll be good looking.
I'd be good looking if it was a girl. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
No.
That'd be nice, though. You know, Megan's temper, Scotty's craziness, and Georgie Essex accent. Could call it Georgie. What could go wrong with that child? I wonder. Now, whilst the other housemates were working up a sweat, Gemma caught up on some sleep. But, you know, she really needs it. And at 12:08, finally, she was ready and raring to go.
Just really had enough. Yeah. Not up for it today at all. Nothing's bothered me. I just really would give anything just to go and work in my shop today and do something that I love doing. That's it. It stinks in the house Like, I don't know, I just really miss home.
Hold up, look, babe. You've perfected the tan yesterday. Now you're doing your nails. What more does she want from us? What does she want? And that was my roundup of today's news. There you go, that was the news. Look. What does she want? Now here with his chuckles and bulletin of all this week's shenanigans, it's our little brother, Matt Richardson.
Hello, guys. Yes, I'm back because, judging by Twitter, you lot can't get enough of telling me to piss off. So, I don't care. I'm employed. Now, it's what a week, right? It's been ridiculous. So much has happened this week. Tensions are running high, and the housemates' real personalities are getting more exposed than Gemma's hair extensions. This week, Daniela called Meghan the perfect role model for her daughter. I think we all saw that. And you know what? Hang on. You know what, right? She's absolutely right. Meghan is polite, eloquent, relaxed, and she has such a wonderful, some would even say poetic, way with the English language.
Let me in there with that lying little scumbag cunt called John and Tiffany, right? Hello? Let me in there.
Meghan,
Go
sit
on.
down.
Let me in there.
Megan, sit down.
Let me in there, and you let Tiffany demand everyone.
Megan, sit down.
No, you let everyone else demand everyone apart from me. You think 'cause I'm just 23 years old, you think I can deal with this shit? I've dealt with it for 2 fucking days and I've not said a word.
What a role model. We should be sending her into primary schools to teach them a thing or two. Now, normally I'd read out a tweet about Meghan right now, but this week I can go one better. After that meltdown, someone has actually set up a whole Twitter account for the vein that's bulging in her neck. Genuinely, look at this. Look, Meghan McKenna Vein, right? It's got 265 followers already. And you know what? Whoever made up that account, congratulations. You're the real winner of Celebrity Big Brother. Now, of course, you've all been tweeting your opinions on Steph and the walking kaleidoscope. Jeremy, at Jade, Starmate said, Steph is literally the girl that puts a bad name to us females. Not even sorry. #CBB. But I do feel sorry for Steph, I have to say. I've got a clip of her trying to keep up with Gemma in the fake tan stakes.
Sometimes, whether you want to read this or not, I think we do things to self-destruct.
Steph, that's the wrong shade. Look, if you get a Dulux colour chart, Gemma is burnt terracotta, right? You've gone chocolate wish. Rookie error, my friend, rookie error. Now... Three of you went to clap and the rest of you went, oh, go on then, fine, we better do it. All together or not at all. John and Gemma are a big talking point on Twitter. Some of you love him and some of you loathe him. At Tia Dwane said, John CBB is literally the most fake, manipulative bitch about. Tell it how it is. And My Mind Palace 221... catchy name, said, I really, really don't get the vitriol towards CBB John. Lol, I'm weird. Now, John is... Lol, so funny. John is finding it really hard in there, and it seems to be getting to him.
I regret that I let certain people get to me so much that I cried. I didn't even cry at my father's funeral.
That is the worst brag ever. Shit, humble brag, right? Also, John, admitting that lack of emotion at your own dad's funeral isn't a good idea. That's part of a psychopath test. Also... Thanks very much, guys. Oh, stop it. Also, a little acting tip from John when it comes to crying. If you can't cry on cue, cover your eyes at all times and no one will guess you're pretending.
Me being like this is just probably what she wants. That I can't give her that satisfaction. I can't give her the satisfaction.
I just can't take it. Don't look at my eyes. I'm really crying. Trust me. I can't take it anymore. Just don't look at me because there is water, but I can't show you. It's there. Just believe me. I'm an actor. That's it from me this week. Thanks very much. Goodbye.
Matt Richardson. Love him. It's time now. I'm dreading this. It's time now for me to get lyrical. Check this out.
Now here is some
something you need to know. Yeah, one of these housemates, yeah, they gotta go on Friday night. They're gonna face the chop. But who will you save from the chopping block? You gotta vote for your favourite, don't run and hide. Which one stays, yo? You decide.
This week, Daniela, Gemma, Jeremy, John, Megan, Stephanie and Tiffany all face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 6 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Daniela, add 03. For Gemma, add 06. For Jeremy, add 07. For John, add 08. For Megan, add 11. For Stephanie, add 14. For Tiffany, add 15. Calls to the long number will cost 50 pence plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50 pence. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on catch up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. You can find terms on the Big Brother website.
Do you know what? I think we need to get on with it. Should we have ourselves a little exclusive? Yeah! Well, some of the housemates have been having a good old bitch about the JC.
I did go too far, I got too personal.
I just feel...
I apologise.
I just feel that intimidated by her. She just intimidates me.
I think I'm the first person to ever stand up to her. I think I'm the first person to ever stand up to her.
She's got this thing about her and just like it really intimidates me. It's like this aura about her. I'm like...
That's why I thought for stand up to her. She'll never fuck with me again. That's why.
But I don't want to come across as weak, but I'd rather just not. I'd rather just do things or do it rather than rather than the ass.
I knew when Jonathan went, she wanted a new best mate, and I knew she was going to latch onto you.
Well, she's not though.
Well, I know, but
I'm trying my best. Like,
she tried to, didn't she?
She's trying to, like, no, she is now. She went to my bed last night. Honestly.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but would you say Gemma coming through the door like a Bond girl? Love that. Christina, I know you're not the biggest Gemma fan,
No.
but do you understand what they're trying to say?
Yes, I do. I think because Chris kind of turned into a lapdog for her in the end, you know, because she was kind of bossing him around. And like he said, she's intimidating for him. He's just a sweet guy. You know, he doesn't want to say no, upset anybody, but it's even getting on his nerves. So, like, you must understand how we all feel around her. And I think, you know, it was just really hard with her in the house. I felt like she was always, you know, trying to stir everything, you know, even more and sort of like divide everyone so then she can be everybody's best mate, you know. So I don't know, I just kind of lost a little bit of respect for her. And she keeps going about that business that she's doing and makes like 2 million. Turn around, love, why are you in the house then? I would be in Saint-Tropez.
Cha-cha! I mean, Anna, really quickly, I've got to ask you, do you think she's now going to try and start forming solid alliances now?
Who, Gemma?
Yeah.
I think Gemma's just going to carry on playing her game, the way she's playing it. I don't think she really gives two hoots about anybody else. I think she is such a strong character within herself. I think she's, like you say, she tells everyone what she's achieved, and good for her. But I think she's put up with so much in her life outside the house, she ain't going to let the house bring her down. No way.
She'll bring down the house.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking, has she got a game, or is this just really her? This is the, you know, is this what she's like all the time? It's like...
What do you think? God, I've never seen Paul put his hand up so quick. Thought there was a £50 note over there.
I wish there was.
So do I.
Rylan, you know, I think Gemma, I'm not so sure about these two characters, Gemma Collins and the GC. I think from the minute she wakes up to the minute she goes to sleep, she's performing for the camera the whole time. And I didn't think anyone could top Perry's performing for the camera, but I really don't think she is. And also, is there any chance of banning them from wearing sunglasses in
Well, this winds me up, because when I was in there, I used to get told off for doing it.
Exactly.
I'm just going to put it out there, hashtag confiscate all the sunglasses. Well, there won't be Celebrity Big Brother without the tears, tension and backstabbing, and especially some home truth. So let's chat a little bit more about tonight's show we've just seen, starting with today's task, the yes and no game. We'll stick with the Gemma theme, because she said the housemates are jealous of her. Discuss.
I don't think they're jealous. I think they're just totally fed up with her, if I'm honest with you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like...
Yeah, I'm interested to know why she said that, because she's not doing herself any favours by saying that. That is
even
not...
Chris and Daniela's reaction in the diary room, like, oh...
What? Exactly, that...
Like, even Daniela went, Wally.
Yeah. But that's an interesting thing. I think she said that to put the cat amongst the pigeons. And you were saying as well, Christina, that she genuinely... You believe she genuinely does think that people are jealous of her.
Yeah, she does. She thinks that, you know, everybody sort of have a thing for her because we're jealous, but I don't really know how we can all be jealous of Gemma. You know, we're all there, our own people, you know, for all our rights, and, you know, she's successful, great. But do you know what I'm going to tell you? Donald Trump is one of the most successful businessmen in the world, and he's a very nasty prick. So here you go. It doesn't mean that you have a good business. You're very popular as well. So.
Well, let's talk about the performing. Paul's just brought it up. We're not going to get over this Donald Trump thing. I can just say it. Paul's just brought it up. The performing. She is making no... She's not trying to cover up the fact that she is putting on an act, you know, giving it, give me 10 minutes, I'll give you the TV gold. Do we like that? Yeah. Because we constantly accuse people of playing games on this show, they're doing it for the cameras. She's very honest about it.
It's entertaining at the end of the day. She said so herself that she's here to make a TV show. And let's face it, we're all talking about her.
And we're all here to watch one.
We're all watching her, we're all discussing her, and she's making great TV. And I didn't really like Gemma to begin with, and she's completely turned me around 360, and I absolutely love her, and she's great for a viewer.
It's what she believes expected of her.
I think she thinks she is Big Brother.
Yeah.
She's running that house.
Well, that would be the biggest twist of the series so far.
Do it.
Can you imagine? This is Big Brother. We ain't playing any games. Wouldn't it be a turn-up? Well, the energy in that house is definitely tense. We already talked about the nominations earlier, but can the breakups make up? Let's start with Scotty T and Steph, Christina. Do you think she was really upset that he went for her, and she said, look, surely there's people in this house that have done worse to you than what I've done.
Yeah.
Do you think they're ever going to be able to reconcile that?
Ooh, I don't know, to be honest. I think the four of them was such a tight pack at the beginning. You know, they all had fun, and actually they don't mind to be in the house for a year, I think, you know. But I think now, because Jeremy is close to Scotty, Scotty is a very loyal guy. He's a really nice person, and he's standing up for his mate, you know, and I think he's doing the right thing. I know Stephanie, you know, we all understand that she is not doing herself any favours by behaving certain way in the house. You know, just Scotty T called her on it, you know, that's the bottom line.
She's not enjoying the truth from it. She's been shown another mirror, like Gemma did to her, big mirror with what she's doing, and she's not enjoying the truth.
What do we make of Scotty T's nomination? I'll give that a go. Shut up.
I think it's very honest. I think it's very honest because, to be honest with me, I think Stephanie's got too many chilies in her noonies. That she's asking for a bit of how's your father. That's it.
Maybe she got them free when Gemma had hers done.
Oh, no.
It's so muggy when you make yourself laugh at it. But let's talk about John and Darren. These two were best mates from the start.
No, they weren't.
John and Darren, they shared that box together. We know John has got the flack from it, but do we think it's time to move on from that, or do you think Darren
they weren't best mates from the start. John put himself had to go in the box. He never even picked Darren to go in the box. Darren offered. Yeah. So it's like they weren't friends from the start.
No.
Not at all. No. And if Darren's got any sense with him, then I don't think don't make up.
Oh, well, we've started to see, Anna, a few tears from John now. Do you think the crowd reaction has got anything to do with that?
It did get to him. It did affect him very, very much, you know. Obviously, so I am friends with John, and I will be, you know, hopefully for a long time. And, you know, even if he's in the wrong, how you guys perceive it, you know, I'm still going to stand by him because, you know, I'm a loyal person
I think that's a great character.
But, you know, the thing is, I think it's time for them to move on. Unfortunately, people in the house don't let them to move on.
Yes.
When Darren came to me about the situation, I said, yes, it was shocking to me too, but sometimes we kind of have the tough love from our closest people, and perhaps sometimes, you know, it really bothers us, and I know he felt betrayed, but I said, listen, you know, you have to perhaps forgive and move on. You know, when he went to Gemma said, well, grow a pair of bollocks, Darren, and tell him how it is. And I don't really understand why it's a very selfish thing for Gemma to do. You know, Darren is a very vulnerable guy. You know, why to keep staring that part? Let them be.
Just
let them work
be.
it out, you know, and John apologised more than once about it.
Well, and I'm sorry, we're at the end of the show. I've got to ask, Team Darren or Team John, very quickly.
Team John. Darren, sorry.
Darren.
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 Darren. Darren. Darren. Darren. Darren.
Darren.
Any Johns? Any Johns? One John. Good chat. Give it another one. Sadly, that's all I've got time for tonight. And massive thank you to all of my guests and our fantastic audience. Thank you. For more CBD action, Chris over to 5-star now for Live from the House. I'll be back here tomorrow at 11 p.m. with Towie Star, Bobby Norris, the one and only Tina Malone, and Stop the Press. Angie Bowie is on this day. Till then, night night.